I was the leader of this country, I would make rocket lollies free because they're banging. Recruit an army of clams to protect our oceans from pollution and all that jazz because pollution equal bad. Elect Alison Hammond as Vice Prime Minister or whatever it's called because she's funny. Make Frodo's Tempe again. Shorten that very long Welsh name. Just a bit long, you know. Nuke Scotland and lock up anyone with a live, laugh, love poster in their home. I think my mum has one of those actually. What even is a leader? Well, a leader can range from a teacher in a school to the president of a country. Leadership isn't specific to one gender. However, in this video, we'll be discussing specifically 4 underground, not really spoken about traits of a good, brilliant masculine leader. I'm not going to bother visiting the level 1 traits like wealth and physique and discipline, just because I trust that you guys watching this are maybe past that beginner level of growth and have likely heard them all 1,000 times. It will be traits that are spoken about much less. Arguably the first most important trait of a leader is his ability to listen. Much like how the best kind of teachers never stop being students, the best forms of leaders never stop being learners. In order to become a leader in any area, you first need knowledge. How is knowledge acquired? Well, through both life experiences and listening to other people. More specifically, people who have achieved leader status. This is probably pretty obvious to you, but what I'll say next might not be. You likely don't listen like a man on a leadership trajectory. What I mean by this is I want you to think of listening like a spectrum. On one end, you have the guys who hear the information being presented to them, but never properly absorbing it or learning it. This can be in the form of people with low focus and attention spans, productive procrastinators, or just people not having leveled up that ability to listen and consume properly. On the other end of the spectrum, you have the dependent fanboys who absorb almost everything they hear and treat it like it's gospel. The Tate fanboys who hold his hand and look up to him for guidance and opinion validation, just loosening the filters of their information consumption with whatever comes out of his mouth. His trajectory is not that of a leader, it's that of a slightly more shit clone. So, the leader starts in search for a medium within this spectrum, then goes on to maintain that medium towards and through his journey of leadership. A leader has a filter for his funnel of information consumption that keeps it rational and true to what he actually believes. He doesn't become a clone of the leaders he learns from. He becomes his own authentic, original leader. So listen to your elders. Don't associate yourself with only a specific group of people and get whatever color pill. Don't be a fanboy and don't treat leaders like gods. As a leader, it's your responsibility to make the tough decisions and to steer the ship. The scale of these decisions and the role of being the captain would vary depending on what kind of leader you are. You can imagine the coach of a football team's decisions would matter a whole lot less than the king of a nation's would. But nonetheless, in any case where there's an irrational person behind the wheel, it will of course follow an inevitable crash. All the best leaders are rational in their decision making. Such an important skill to level up, because an irrational man is the same kind of man to make long-term damaging blunders and have detrimental lapses in his judgment. This is a trait that, if leveled up, will guarantee you better results in every area of your life. Not only that, but this is probably one of the main things that the authentic feminine essence desires. The really feminine women of this world who want to be able to, relax back into their femininity through the guidance of masculinity, absolutely desire this trait of rational decision making. A man who is able to digest a situation and conjure up a rational decision or plan of action is a trustworthy, ideal leader and even father and husband. So how do you level up this skill of rational thinking? There are a couple of ways that I'll share with you right now. One that has personally helped me is cold exposure. I've been taking a cold shower first thing most mornings now for around 2 months. However, recently I've been practicing rational thinking while under the cold water. So essentially I switch on the water, feel the shock and my cortisol rise. My body's now in a state of fight or flight, and I believe this is one of the most irrational states you can be in, at least that you can regularly put yourself into. Can't imagine you'd have much success getting an armed robber to your house and putting a gun to your head every single time you want to practice that, fight or flight. I begin to focus on a shampoo bottle or something and practice trying to read it as calmly and as clearly as I possibly can whilst in that, irrational fight or flight state, and whilst the water's, still running over me. Second habit that can help for overall daily awareness are things like meditation, journaling, and other forms of mindfulness that gradually increase presence. A very quick self-plug to grow the channel. If you've never seen me before, my name is Ray, and I'm a young guy constantly improving just like yourself, and have decided to disperse any new knowledge I gain with guys like you over the internet. I upload videos just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the exact same time, and plan on persistently pumping out very valuable content regardless of the numbers I see. I trust that with time, my intellect will only deepen, and these videos will only become more valuable. So if that's something that you'd like to be a supporter of, just poke that red button for me. Just freaking jab it in the eye. Or you can wait until you've, heard me speak a little bit more and then make that decision. You probably know a lot of high IQ people who are very intelligent academically, but maybe you know a lot of high IQ individuals who don't actually go on to be good leaders or even reach whatever their pinnacle of success is. EQ is the barrier that separates the smart, mediocre man and the smart leader. Yes, your IQ will get you into college, but it's your EQ that will get you through the stress of those final exams. Yes, your IQ will allow you to grow your business, but once again, it's your EQ that will make sure that you don't quit every time you fail or don't see any results. EQ is the understanding and acknowledgement of your emotions. Having a high IQ allows you to live a more stoic lifestyle, keeping in control of your feelings and maneuvering and letting them out in a sensible, more rational way. You can already see why this is a crucial leadership trait. You cannot be a man who allows his emotions to control him, as well as not understanding the emotions of his loved ones. A good leader has a broad understanding on emotions and remains in control of his own. Every decision he makes is through a rational mindset where no emotions are having a single say. This plays heavily into the previous trait of rationality, because with a lower emotional intelligence, you will struggle remaining a rational man for long periods of time. Emotions are what cause irrationality. Much like rationality as well, not even just the really feminine women of this world, but pretty much every woman is attracted to a man with emotional intelligence. It demonstrates discipline, and it's very comfortable for them to be with a man who understands feelings and how to maneuver them. Another important reason why EQ is needed for day-to-day life, because it will definitely lower your chances of getting into danger and doing stupid things. Imagine there's a dodgy drunk bloke walking down the street just shouting random things. He starts yelling things at you, and maybe even about a girl that you're currently with, whether that's your girlfriend or your sister or your mum, just a girl that you care about. Every guy would feel anger and an urge to put that guy on the ground. However, the less emotionally intelligent man acts on his anger and does it. Gets badly injured, maybe even the loved one that he was with also gets injured and regrets it afterwards. It just doesn't end well. To be honest, it just doesn't end good. The higher emotionally intelligent man, however, suppresses his anger and is rational enough in the moment to prioritize the safety of his loved ones. EQ can make you richer, more successful with women, and can actually save your life. I'm sure you've heard the saying, he's a man of his word. This saying was invented for good reason. The importance of simply saying something to someone throughout the ordinary day and sticking to it is hugely overlooked by a lot of men, and I honestly don't even blame them. When a man makes a statement, whether that be in the form of a promise or just simply saying that he's going to do something, the more of a reputation this man has of not sticking to that word strips him of his integrity. When a man has no integrity, it's very hard for others to trust and respect him. Without those two things, he won't be a very good leader. You want those around you to feel confident in your integrity, believing everything you promise or say you're going to do because of your good reputation of sticking to your word. Your word is your honor. And if you pair this reputation of sticking to everything you say with your reputation of making rational decisions and being very emotionally in control, get yourself a very honorable, respected man and leader. Of course, that's not to say you have to be perfect. Not even the greatest leaders in history were. Things will happen and you won't always be able to stick to a promise. But you should strive for a very good reputation of sticking to your word, by it always being your main intention to do so. Every time you're about to say you're going to do something or make a promise, have the intention of keeping it every single time. Feels like I've spoken about women at some point in all of these, but this trait, once again, is very attractive to women of all kinds. They want a man they can trust and who means what he says. We all know the guy who says he's going to start the gym but doesn't, or promises his girlfriend that he'll do the dishes but doesn't. It's just not attractive to anyone when a man treats his word like it's meaningless, and it certainly doesn't make a fit leader. Since we've discussed what makes a good leader, I think I'm a fit enough leader to go through with my plan now. Starting with the Freddos, I wanted to refrain once again from speaking about the generic money, status and physique, etc. Leadership will play a role in absolutely everything in your life, whether it's mastering polarity with your partner or becoming a freaking CEO of a company. I only hope you enjoyed this video. If you have ever been to a trampoline park, have a globe on your desk, a nan named Beryl, and own a sausage dog. You must have all of those requirements to be on my hope you like list. If not, too bad. Click the video that shows up at the end, or I will become the leader of your street and sell every house but yours to Discord mods. Bye.